Welcome to the first media consulting podcast, The Business Chronicles.
Welcome back, everyone, to our podcast. I am so excited to introduce to you Charlo, who owns Kingdom Energy Solutions LLC. And basically, how you doing, first of all, Charlo?
I'm doing awesome. It's a beautiful Monday morning. Just glad to be here, man. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh, you're very welcome, man. We're excited to have you and for you to share your inspiration to our listeners. The whole purpose of this podcast is where we dive into minds of successful business owners. We discover the aha moments that sparked their journeys and the decisions that led them to where they're at today in terms of success. Mm-hmm. So he's going to provide some inspiring information or advice to those who are wanting to be entrepreneurs or business owners, and to kind of give one or two pointers to you for you guys who are listening that are interested in starting your own business. So as that being said, let's dive right in. Let's talk a little bit about your background, Ed. Go ahead.
Well, my background is a very diverse background, and not to go too much into details, but I started off as a teacher many years ago. I was a teacher for about 8 to 9 years, middle school, high school. I taught mathematics, and then I went into sales in sports management and really learning how to operate within a team and learning some of those sales tactics from some leaders there in the sports and entertainment industry. And I just progressively took on different roles that were aligned: sales and relationship management, account management, and just doing the corporate America marathon, as I would like to call it, just taking on different roles and really just learning and seeking and developing my personal strengths and discovering my weaknesses and going along with that path. And obviously establishing a family and having to provide for a family is obviously primary. So, so the diversity there is quite wide. Financial acumen, working in the banking industry and working in the investment industry, just being able to learn a lot of those things. But it turned out to really be great assets that I've been able to use towards my business.
I love that. And, a couple words: strengths and weaknesses, right? So everybody faces these opportunities and going into sales, all the things that have led you up to where you're at today is powerful, man. I hear this consistently to, every business owner that I talk, and I say this on a regular basis. Can you share with our listeners how you got started in the business overall, basically?
Well, to put it in a simple nutshell, I was actually an employee with JPMorgan Chase at the time. I was an ultra high net worth banker, is what they used to call it, and a buddy of mine, he's a close brother of mine from our church, Kingdom Culture, here in Winter Garden. His name is George Berry. He's had several years of experience in the solar energy industry, being with one of the larger companies back then. And both of our daughters were in the same class, and he would see me drop off my daughter and, be in my shirt and tie and rushing and leaving. And all along for him, he'd have a little bit more flexibility as an entrepreneur, flexibility and of time and not having to rush. I mean, yes, he had meetings and everything else, but being able to structure his time in a manner that was better for him as a family man, as a husband, as a father, and as a business leader. So he approached me and he kind of explained the opportunity of, hey, give this a shot. Solar energy is booming. I'm looking for responsible independent contractors that'd like to join my team and my company. So he owned the team. He was one of the owners of a program, of a company at the time, a solar energy company at the time. And he was looking for team members to join in, and responsible men that would be able to treat the business well and have experience consulting with homeowners and communicate and establish relationships. So I gave it a go, and I did it, on the side at first, part-time while I was working full-time. And slowly and surely, I became very accustomed to the business side of it and understanding how I can meet homeowners' needs in a manner that was truthful, in a manner that was helpful, and in a manner that was very helpful for them financially. So once that got going, the engine began to crank. It connected the dots for me. And my wife and another close friend of mine who was also in the solar energy space, a colleague of mine, basically they spoke into me and said, this is something that you're pretty good at. You may want to consider at some point in the future, considering, starting your own or branching out, or, you've always had aspirations of wanting to start your own company. And I've always asked that question. I want to start a business. What could it be? And then, I just needed some confidence boosting to be able to realize that I was able to do it.
I love that. And you said truthful and helpful.
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful,
Mm-hmm.
because those are two things that really take you to the next level, to build relationships, to have that trust with your customers.
Right.
And, kudos for you for being able to see an opportunity and stand true to your vision.
Yes.
So I think that's very powerful. What's one decision that has had the greatest impact to your company's success?
I would say this is an ongoing decision. The number one decision in remaining successful in business, I believe, is operating from a place of integrity. I think that establishes not only the quality of service that you're providing, but it also establishes trust. And you can't succeed nor grow as a business without trust, and also without relationships. So operating from a place of integrity, and not just being honest in what you say, but also being honest with what you do. So if you're going to say you're going to do something, then you actually show up and you do it. If you have an appointment at 9 a.m., showing up at 8:55, some of those very practical skill sets, but also mindsets, really help along the way of gaining more and more business. So I think that's the best decision for my business, is just to operate from a place of integrity, especially in this industry where, unfortunately, there have been many players that have come in and kind of damaged the reputation of how good solar energy can be for both homeowners and commercial property owners. So integrity would be the best decision there.
Yeah, that word integrity is powerful as well. And if you look at a lot of businesses, their mission statement or their vision, it's always that word. It seems to be constant,
Right.
when they use it. So what drives you to keep pushing forward, even in some of the toughest days? Because we as business owners, we have those tough days, correct?
Oh, that is so true. I would say, when you have a vision and you know what your why is, why did you get in business? Why did you have an interest in starting this organization? The why drives you day to day, regardless of the circumstance. Being a business owner is not based on circumstance. You can't ride the boat with the cyclical patterns. You have to have your mind set on what your mission is and what your vision is, and be able to have your grounds, have your boots grounded and firm in deciding, hey, this is my why, and I'm going to continue. For me specifically, for Kingdom Energy Solutions, because the vision of the company is highly tied to a God-given gifts that I'm able to apply to the company. It is a kingdom-owned company. It is a kingdom business, so all of the principles are wrapped in biblical values that are very important, not only to my personal life, but also to my professional and business life. So that keeps me going, because I know that there's a purpose. It's a purpose-driven mission. Every homeowner and property owner that I meet with at the end of appointments, I offer to pray for them. Regardless of what their beliefs are, I don't ask. I just offer. And many times, I would say 95% of the time, it's a yes. And I feel like that's pushing along the mission of our Creator a little bit further than just solar energy itself.
I like that, pushing the needle, or pushing that, making sure that you're kind of holding your customers' hands from, from that standpoint, from what you're saying. That's pretty powerful. I like it.
That's it.
So what advice would you give aspiring entrepreneurs or those that are listening right now that are wanting to be business owners? Maybe a couple pointers.
I would go back to making sure that you understand your why.
That's a good point.
That's the driving force behind it all. You want to, as an individual, whatever your personal values are, making sure that your values towards your business are aligned with your personal values so that you can be self-motivated to continue operating, even in the moments where there's doubt, in the moment where, you may not have as much capital to market, or, the economy is taking a hit and dictating people's purchasing habits. So you have your ups and downs, you have your cycles. I would say, making sure that you're staying true to your why. And then secondly, making good financial decisions when you first start your company. I recall feeling very excited and motivated in the beginning and wanting to put, all of my eggs in several baskets at the same time. And sometimes that's not always the wisest thing to do. You want to do your research, you want to take your time and build relationships and consult with other industry leaders in the same industry that you're in. Don't be afraid to learn from them, to ask them questions, to connect with others. Networking is key because relationships are key. In so many industries, a lot of companies and business owners have forsaken the power of building strong relationships, especially in the community and in the market that they're serving. It really is more like a self-driven marketing tool when you can build those relationships. So I tell anyone that's looking to start a company to, understand your why, do your research and consult with other leaders and network.
Very nice, man. We're very well said. I couldn't have said it better myself. That's good. So what's the best way for our listeners to get a hold of you? If you could provide their phone number and website.
So my company's number directly to me would be through 407-720-4017. That is a direct line to the company. Or you can go on our website, www.kingdomenergysolutions.com. We're also on social media, both on Instagram and Facebook, Kingdom Energy Solutions, and you can find us there. And definitely would love to connect with anyone that would love a consultation and more information on the benefits of solar energy for their home.
Charlo, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak with us and kind of learn about your business and your mentality, right? It's all about that and how you view your business and from a perspective standpoint, right? And share this with our listeners. So kudos to you on everything, man. And we wish you much success in the near future.
Thank you so much. I appreciate being here. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for tuning in to First Media Consulting Podcast. If you enjoyed the podcast, subscribe today. To nominate a business you would like to recommend to be on our show, go to firstmediaconsulting.com or call. Thank you for listening.